right, guys. UFC 305 just wrapped up. What are your guys' immediate thoughts? I think Israel Adesanya's time at the top is over, and he even kind of admitted that to himself. Like, I think it was an interview like a year ago or something. He basically said like, I'm 34. Most of the best part of my career is over, right? And it's interesting because usually when you speak something like that, like it kind of, as Izzy was saying, like those things manifest themselves. But big wins for City Kickboxing tonight from Dan Hooker and Kai Kara France. Um, I just kind of find it hard to believe that Izzy wasn't able to get the job done. It's unfortunate, but it's the end of an era. Um, what a performance by Dricus, though. By the way, if you could like and subscribe, helps the algorithm, helps grow the channel. But what a performance by Dricus, right? Um, I think there have been guys that Izzy has faced with who have, at least on paper, better grappling resumes, like Yoel Romero. I think Robert Whitaker was a national wrestling champion in Australia. Other guys like that. And Izzy beat them, right? And basically made their grappling look completely ineffective. But Dricus was on another level. He was able to hold Izzy down for a good chunk of um, the second round there, and almost get some good positions to go for some submissions, and he got the submission in the fourth round, which I thought was like just in time too, because he was looking super gassed. I thought Izzy was, I thought Izzy won the third round there and was looking. You never know, right, with the judges' scorecards, but yeah, I think Izzy's time at the top is definitely over. Now, one of the other things I think is that I think Dricus is going to be able to defend that title quite a bit in the next little while. And the reason I say that is because, first of all, his style looks like super awkward. But then the other thing too is like he definitely seems to have a champion mindset. And then the other thing is like, so Sean Strickland's supposed to face him next. That's what everybody's saying. And I, I think I think Dricus is going to be able to defend the belt against Sean. Everybody always says Sean Strickland's easier to fight the second time around. I think Chris Curtis used to say that, like, when you spar with him the first time, it's so difficult to deal with him. But his second time around, I think Dricus is going to have an easier time with him. And then look who's coming up in the rankings, right? I mean, you're going to have, there's Nasruddin Imavov. Kyle Brio is probably going to beat next weekend, actually. He's probably going to beat Jared Cannonier there and be ranked and probably need another win after that. And you've got Chimaev versus Whitaker in Abu Dhabi there in October. And that's probably going to, one of those guys is going to be in the conversation for a title as well. In the meantime, Izzy's probably going to have to fight somebody in the rankings. So, like, you probably put him against Imavov. But either way, if you look at any of those guys, right, if Whitaker beats Chimaev, right, he's probably next in line for a title shot. We already saw Dricus beat him, and I think, we would see that again. You never know. Anything's possible, right? And then, if Hamza wins, like, Dricus's grappling is pretty good. He's probably not on the same level as Chimaev, but, um, you know, like, I think he stands a really good chance against someone like Chimaev. He stands a really good chance against Imavov. I think he stands a really good chance. The guy who I don't know too much about. Oh man, I unplugged the camera here. The guy who I don't know too much about. Like, if Barrio gets through Cannonier, which I think he will, then he's on the short list for like a number one contenders match. And those guys at the Fighting Nerds, man, they are doing some crazy things. Like, that gym is blowing up. Like they were saying that who the guy Prates today, first guy ever to knock out the Leech, right? And we've seen great performances over the last little. Like, everybody out of that gym is winning, you know. So it's just interesting. And Barrio was going to win. By the way, if I'm butchering his name, I'm sorry. But yeah, he's probably gonna beat Cannonier, and then there's probably gonna be a number one contenders match. Maybe he fights Izzy. I don't know. But yeah, there's lots of interesting options. But like I said, I think Dricus has a great chance against all these kind of contenders. I think he has a great chance of defending his belt for a really long time, um, against a lot of those guys. So it'll be interesting to see because, yeah, like I said, I think he wins that rematch against Strickland. You never know, right? But I think he's definitely gaining his confidence, and he yeah, I think he beats Strickland in that rematch. And then, yeah, a lot of these guys coming up, like Dricus has a really good chance. I didn't have a lot of faith in Dricus, but like seeing how he stood with Izzy there, and Izzy was outstriking him a little bit, but that style of his seems to be working. So that was my thought. Now, Kai Car France, he's probably getting a title shot, um, opposite Pantoja. That's what I see happening. Great win by Dan Hooker. Fight of the night, maybe fight of the year. That was crazy. Who should he fight next? Because you've got some really great options. You got him versus Poirier. Their first fight was an absolute war. You've got Gaethje. That would be another really crazy fight. Um, you could see him. I could see him fighting Arman Sarukian, but Arman Sarukian's probably fighting for a title pretty soon. But there's a lot of great options at lightweight for Dan Hooker right now. Great win. Close fight, but wow, what banger. I think Gamrot's been in a lot of really great fights too. So there was that boring heavyweight fight. Who would have thought that the flyweights there would have been a finish at flyweight, but not heavyweight? But whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, the main card, Israel Adesanya. Um, yeah, like I said, time at the top. I think that's over. I think Dricus is going to be able to defend that belt for a long time. From what I've seen, he's definitely got the skills. For a lot of the guys who are coming up, and it's just great to see that sportsmanship and kind of them bury the hatchet after everything is said and done, right? Izzy did say he's going to be back, but I don't know, man. Like he looked on, right? It's not like there's Sean Strickland fight. When I watched him fight Strickland and lose that, he looked off, right? And I know some of you guys were like, no, he looked exactly the same. I don't know why. He looked like Izzy tonight. When he fought Strickland, he didn't look like Izzy. But Dricus just was the better man tonight, and who knows how many times Dricus would win if they fought like 10 times. You know what I mean? But all in all, great night of fights. Let me know what you guys think. We'll see you next time.